Imagine this. You've just landed in beautiful Maui. The warm air is hitting your face. You're picturing those stunning beaches and uh, volcanic craters.
Here it is, right.
Totally. But then you think about the rental car. The long queues, maybe hidden fees, the feeling that you're paying a fortune for something that'll mostly just sit there.
Yeah, sit in a parking lot half the time. What if there was, a different approach?
Exactly. A way to get around that felt a bit more, well, grounded, less like the standard tourist package.
It's an interesting idea, rethinking what a rental car even needs to be on a trip like that. We're so used to wanting that shiny new car.
Right. But in Maui, maybe your money's better spent elsewhere.
Precisely. Your priorities might shift.
So today we're doing a deep dive. We've got this document from a local Maui business, Frank's Friendly Cars,
Okay.
and they offer something different, renting a used local car. So our mission here is to kind of unpack this alternative.
See if it makes sense for your trip.
Yeah, figure out the why and the what. Why choose this over a big company's new car? What Frank's actually offers, the cars, the prices, policies, all that stuff.
Okay, so the big question first. Why would someone choose a used car instead of, a brand new one from a major chain?
Well, Frank's shares some feedback they get, and it's pretty down to earth. Things like,
Like what?
we don't need anything fancy, or it's just going to sit at the condo most of the time anyway.
Makes sense. Purely functional.
Exactly.
But
As long as it's reliable, the look isn't the main thing. There's even this parallel drawn to Warren Buffett.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Just that idea that for some people, their self-image isn't tied to driving the newest, flashiest car. Practicality wins.
That pragmatism, yeah, I get that. And sometimes you don't want a flashy rental, right? Avoid drawing unwanted attention.
For sure. Some people actively want to blend in more, maybe feel a bit more local.
Like you're not sticking out as a tourist quite so much.
And there's also the feeling of supporting a local Maui business. That matters to a lot of travelers.
Definitely. Plus, the budget angle. Saving on the car means...
More money for that amazing luau or surfing lessons or whatever else you want to do there.
Okay, so the why makes sense for a certain type of traveler. What about the what? What do you actually get with one of these used cars from Frank's?
Well, the document lays out the basics. You're getting automatic transmission, power windows, power locks, standard stuff.
And a working stereo, hopefully.
Yep, working stereo for the island tunes. And crucially, they really stress this cold air conditioning.
Oh, vital in Hawaii. Absolutely vital.
You bet. Now, newer tech, that can vary.
Okay, like backup cameras, Bluetooth.
Yeah, exactly. They say some cars have those, but not all. So if that's a must-have for you, you'd need to ask specifically.
Gotcha. But the core focus seems to be reliability.
Definitely. They use words like well-maintained, dependable, good tires and brakes, also clean interior, and no fluid leaks.
Basic expectations maybe, but good to hear they prioritize it, especially with older cars.
And what's reassuring is they mention having their own in-house professional mechanic.
Ah, okay, so they're doing regular maintenance themselves.
Seems like it. It suggests, a proper system for keeping the fleet running well, not just renting out old clunkers.
Right. It tackles that potential worry about renting used. What about the age of these cars, generally?
They say they typically add cars to the fleet when they're around 10 years old.
Okay.
And they try to pick ones that were single owner, lower mileage, clear history. Sounds like a pretty selective process.
So it's curated, in a way, not just any 10-year-old car.
Seems that way. Okay, so we've covered why you might rent used and what the cars are generally like. What about Frank's Friendly Cars itself? What makes them stand out?
Right, the business itself.
Well, first off, they're local. Been in Maui since 2007.
Wow, that's a decent amount of time. Shows they're established.
Yeah, suggests they're doing something right. They have an actual physical spot in Kalului 400 Hana Highway, Shed Sea.
And location-wise, relative to the airport?
Super close, just 1 mile from Kahului Airport, OGG.
Oh, that's a big plus. Easy to get to after landing.
And they mentioned offering scheduled airport pickup and return, $247.
No waiting in line. That sounds appealing.
Definitely beats the usual rental counter experience, potentially.
And how big are they? Is it just a couple of cars?
No, they say they manage up to 50 cars, depending on the season. So it's professionally run, not just a side gig.
Okay. Big enough to be reliable, small enough for personal service, maybe.
That seems to be the idea. They mention positive online reviews, Google, Yelp, TripAdvisor, and lots of repeat customers.
Repeat customers are always a good sign. People coming back for years.
Yeah, some over 10 years, apparently. They feel they've really learned what visitors need over, like, 2 decades in the business.
That experience counts for a lot. Okay, I'm intrigued. Let's talk cars and costs. What kind of vehicles do they actually have?
They've got a variety. Compacts, like a Toyota Matrix or maybe a Kia Soul.
Okay, standard small cars.
Midsize, like a Camry. Then SUVs, they say this is a popular category.
I bet. Good for exploring.
Yeah, things like RAV4s, Tucsons, Highlanders, even some Lexus RX models.
Oh, okay, even a bit more premium in the SUV range?
Seems so. And minivans, too, like the Toyota Sienna.
What about the classic Hawaii rentals, though? Jeeps. Convertible.
Ah, good question. Their used fleet doesn't include those.
Okay.
But they say they have partnerships, so they can still get you Jeeps or convertibles, often at a discount price, apparently.
So you can still ask them even if you want that Jeep experience.
Exactly. And interestingly, they also offer access to discounted new cars.
Oh, so they cover both bases.
Yeah, with some pretty good terms listed. No prepayment, no deposit, no cancellation fee, lowest price guarantee. So, options.
Good to know. Okay, back to the used cars. What's the ballpark cost?
They say starting around $25 a day,
Yeah,
but, caveats apply.
right. Depends on the car, the season.
Yep. High season versus low season makes a difference, and longer rentals usually mean a cheaper per day rate.
Makes sense. Is their pricing fixed or does it jump around like the big companies?
They suggest their rates are more stable than that dynamic pricing you see elsewhere, but for an exact number.
You got to contact them.
Right. Phone, email, website form. They give some examples, though.
Like,
Long term, maybe $800 a month. Daily economy around $25. Mid-size, $30. Small SUV, $35. Regular SUV, $40. Deluxe SUV like that, Lexus, maybe $45. Minivan, $50.
okay, gives you a rough idea, but always best to get a specific quote for your dates.
For sure. And they even have this can't choose option.
Yeah, rating.
You can just call them, tell them about your trip, and they'll give you recommendations based on their experience.
Ah, personalized advice. That's nice.
Yeah. They mentioned the people ask, how does this all work? And their answer is apparently, it works very well.
Huh, confident. Okay, so we know the cars, rough costs. What about the nitty-gritty? Policies, pickup, that kind of thing.
Get pickup. You can go to their place in Gahuli or arrange for them to meet you right at the airport, OGG.
With advance notice, presumably.
Yeah. Needs to be reserved ahead of time for the airport meet. But avoids waiting, they say.
And the actual rental process, is it weird because they're used cars?
Nope. Sounds pretty standard. Legally registered cars, you sign a rental agreement,
Okay.
return it with a full tank of gas, or they charge you for it. They check for pre-existing damage so you're not blamed.
Right, standard procedure. What about insurance and stuff?
They offer optional roadside assistance, but also say, if you have AAA, that might cover you.
Check your own coverage first.
Exactly. Same for collision comprehensive. Check your credit card perks first. Liability usually comes from your personal auto insurance.
Good advice. Payment method.
Important. Credit card only, no debit cards.
Okay, good to know. Need a credit card.
And they stress all-in pricing. The quote should be the final price, no hidden extras popping up later.
Yeah, that's a relief. Nobody likes surprise fees.
Now, here's a really key point.
Yeah.
For their used local cars, there's a minimum rental period.
Oh, how long?
10 days.
10 days minimum. Okay, that's significant.
Yeah, definitely. So this option is really geared towards people staying a bit longer.
If you're just there for a weekend, you'd need to look at their new car discount options instead or somewhere else.
Precisely. They do offer those discounted new cars for shorter rentals.
Got it. And rates change by season, right?
Absolutely. Those example prices are just averages. Could be higher, could be lower, depending on when you go. Always best to ask for current rates.
Makes sense. Any mention of really long-term rentals, like for a month or more?
Yep. They specifically mentioned catering to folks like travel nurses, remote workers, people relocating.
Ah, so monthly rates or special deals might be possible.
Sounds like it's worth inquiring about if that's your situation. And just to have the contact info handy again, phone is 808-280-1196. Email info@mauirental.biz.
Okay, good info. So wrapping up, if you're heading to Maui, especially for a longer trip,
Right, 10 days or more.
and you like the sound of a reliable, more budget-friendly car from a local company.
The Frank's Friendly Cars seems like a really interesting alternative to consider, instead of just defaulting to the big airport brands.
It really boils down to what you prioritize, doesn't it?
Totally. Are you prioritizing practicality, maybe supporting local, saving some cash, or is having that brand new car feel more important?
It's a trade-off. But for that longer stay, where you just need solid, dependable transport to explore Maui without breaking the bank.
This could be a really great fit. It's a straightforward, no-frills way to get around the island.
Yeah. This whole look at Frank's makes you think, doesn't it, about how we approach travel choices.
How so?
Just, looking beyond the obvious options, maybe choosing local, maybe choosing used. Are there other parts of travel where we could apply that thinking?
That's a great question. What other unconventional or more locally focused ways are there to experience a place?
Yeah, maybe something for all of us to mull over when planning the next adventure.